Hi guys, Asmo here. Today I'm back with the Path of Exile build roulette. We are going to roll a main skill and Ascendancy randomly and then get a weird build that we're gonna have to make work. Basically, this is a little tool that I wrote. You can find it in the description. You'll find the link and you can use it yourself. I have updated it for the new skills that came with the, as you can see, like Arcanist brand a moment ago. There are new skills, Wintertide brand, as you can see from the harvest. So everything is up to date, and you basically roll a random skill and a random Ascendancy to go with it, like Lightning Strike, Occultist, Divine Ire, Necromancer, Summon Skeleton, Saboteur, like you can make Skeleton Mines or something. So you're gonna get some crazy builds, sometimes some good builds, sometimes you're gonna get like builds that are good but not popular, so it can be really random. Completely random. Heavy Strike, Guardian, Purifying Flame, Chieftain. That would be an actual really good build that you can make. So anyway, basically I'm gonna roll. So let me refresh this, and I'm gonna roll the main skill first, and then I'm gonna roll the Ascendancy, and whatever is gonna come up now, that's what I have to go with. That's what I have to make a build with. It's basically a challenge, and we're going to make sure that this build can like clear T16s and kill an Awakener, and then we're basically gonna be done with it. I'm gonna be doing it on trade, softcore, just the main harvest league. I think we have like 4 weeks of the league left or something like that easily, so we're gonna be able to make it work. And let's see what's our main skill. So 3, 2, 1, roll. Burning Arrow. Okay, Burning Arrow is something that we don't want to have on like a Slayer or like Ascendancy that is like super focused on only spells, or like melee attacks, you know, like exactly Slayer or something like that, or like Gladiator. That would be so bad. But there can be really good ones, like all Ranger ones are good, Trickster could be great, Elementalist could be nice, so all kinds of good ones to roll. So let's see what we get. 3, 2, 1, roll. Inquisitor. Okay, so we're gonna go for Burning Arrow Inquisitor. This is a Bow Inquisitor build. I can't say I have ever played one, but that's basically what we're gonna have to do. So in terms of like theory crafting, let's theory craft for a bit. Like let's go to Path of Exile wiki, Burning Arrow, and let's look at it. So fire is a burning arrow that deals fire damage. If it ignites an enemy, it will also inflict additional debuff for a duration, dealing burning damage based on the magnitude of the ignite. Okay, so this is a percentage of the ignite that keeps stacking up to 5 times. Okay, so this is really nice. Up to 5 of these debuffs can be applied simultaneously on an enemy. This converts 100% of physical damage to fire damage, so this is already all elemental, which is really nice. I mean, Inquisitor works well with elemental skills. More damage with ignite, so these are gonna be some juicy, insanely nice ignites. Like we're gonna be burning stuff really hard. So that's as far as it goes for the skill. Let's click on the ignite and see how we can scale it. There's basically a list of modifiers that directly affect the damage of the ignite, and what we want is something like elemental damage, right? Elemental damage is something that we're gonna get a lot of, and we probably are going to go elemental overload because it works very well with ignite builds. What doesn't work is like attack damage, spell damage, melee damage, ranged damage doesn't apply to that. Like projectile damage, I think, doesn't apply to that. It doesn't boost our ignite damage. However, like just generic damage, damage over time, and elemental and fire damage and ignite damage on these dot multis, fire dot multi, will work very well. So generically, we want to like boost our elemental damage so that our initial hit is bigger, and then we're gonna have the ignites. So I think ignite proliferation could be our AoE, because we're gonna have to solve the problem of AoE and of single target damage. I think single target damage is the easier part. We just get a bunch of damage over time multiplier, and ignite just ignite scaling, right? And the harder we hit, the more of the multipliers we have, the more damage we're gonna deal. But I think the AoE is the tricky part. What we can do is actually, so let's see, unique bow. There is a bow this one, Zoth's Nurture. So this bow gives you socketed gems are supported by level 20 Ignite Proliferation, and Ignite Proliferation is this. It basically causes your ignites to spread, and then also supported skills deal more damage with Ignite, which is a big multiplier. So this is gonna give us a lot of Ignite. It has pretty decent like base damage, increased fizz damage. You can keep re-rolling it until you get very high roll, because it doesn't have any other rolls that you need to be high. 10% chance to ignite, and then physical damage converted to fire damage. So what we can actually do is get this bow for Ignite Proliferation, and that would solve our AoE partially. And then we can also get the Explodey chest. And with the Explodey chest, when we kill someone and the explode will deal physical damage, we will convert 50% of that physical to fire, and then we can convert the rest with, for example, unique quivers. With this, right? So 50% of fizz converted to fire damage, and on top of that, gain fizz damage as extra fire up to 35%. And again, you can just keep divining that because it doesn't have any other important rolls. So 35% fizz as extra fire, which will work on the explosion, right? Because this is generic global mod. So this will work on the explosions, and you can get Herald of Ash explosions with the chest chaining across the packs. And this is really, really powerful. So this actually is going to be strong AoE and strong single target, because other than scale, like the scaling elemental damage will scale our explosions, and as soon as we get through a certain threshold, then we don't need any more like AoE. Like we're gonna have some AoE for that reason, for the Ignite Proliferation and for the explosions and Herald of Ash explosions, but we don't need to do that much for the clear if we have those mechanics, and we're gonna be able to just put more and more damage, so that means our single target will be pretty good. So now let's look at the path of building. Okay, and in here let's pick Templar and then Inquisitor. And here, first thing I want to check is elemental damage, because this scales Ignite, so this is really great. For as far as this goes, we're not gonna be going crit, so we're gonna be going here for elemental ailment immunity, like ailment immunity, and then here for like 16% more Ignite damage basically when we're nearby an enemy, and then we're gonna be probably like dashing or flame dashing, so we're gonna have 50% increased attack damage and 20% increased attack speed to stack those burns from Burning Arrow quicker. And then as far as the tree, early on it's kind of a no-brainer that we're gonna be doing something like this, right? So we're gonna be going for this increased elemental damage and for more elemental damage, and our ignites at this point are gonna be massive, right? And then we can also go to here. Actually, probably not through here. It depends if we go here or 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, right? So we might go here, but we might also go later through this. And I don't know if bow block would be a thing, but we're gonna basically pick up 20% of fizz converted to fire, here another 20% of fizz converted to fire, and then gloves craft will finish that up to make it 100% with together with the bow if we don't have the quiver, right? And that way we can convert 100% of our explosion into elemental damage, into fire damage, and then that means the explosion will be scaled with elemental overload, with divine judgment, with all of the elemental damage that we're picking up and all of the fire damage. Now let's look at Ignite. So Holy Dominion also gives chance to ignite. This is an insane node, like one of the most powerful nodes on the entire tree, Holy Dominion. 12% elemental resistances, 12% physical damage and elemental damage, which scales our Burning Arrow twice, and then chance to freeze, shock, and ignite. This is really, really crazy. We're going to be able to pick up Ignite from here. Chance to ignite is also here. This is also chance to freeze, shock, ignite as well. And then we've also got this thing, right? This is a really great node. Ignites deal damage faster, fire damage over time multiplier, 24% increased fire damage with attack skills. This is really nice. And also we have here increased fire damage with attack skills, fire damage over time multiplier. So we might travel to here and pick up some of the elemental damage with attack nodes. But the generic elemental damage is actually better because it scales our explosions, right? So probably these I will prioritize. So that's basically it for the tree, right? There's not much to it initially because I'm gonna be trying to first level the character, acquire the gear, and then try mapping with it, see how it works, try to get the chains to scale high enough so that I can like chain between packs and so on. Maybe also AoE, so something like this node, increased area of effect, increased fire damage. This will scale the explosions and the AoE, so this is a nice node to get as well. We have a bunch of AoE here. Could pick up, like, this is for only attacks, so that's, I don't want this AoE, but there's a bunch of AoE we can pick up. So this is really promising. Like, this is way better than I initially thought when I rolled it because of the like elemental damage increase that actually scales the ignite. So this is going to be a pretty juicy build. In the next video, I'm going to level the character, and we're going to try to level it from the very beginning with the burning arrow. You know, as soon as I get to town, I'll get burning arrow, a bow, and a couple of items for leveling, and then we're gonna rush into the maps and try to figure out the build as we go. If you want to play with the Path of Exile build roulette, this is available in the description. You'll find the link and you can just basically play with it and see what kinds of crazy combinations you can get from here. Infernal Blow, Saboteur, Tempest Shield, Ball Lightning, Assassin, Ball Lightning, Inquisitor. Those are amazing builds. Double Strike, Guardian, Infernal Blow, Pathfinder. There we go. That's something juicy. So you can play with this and come up with crazy builds. And in the next video, we're going to be leveling the Burning Arrow Inquisitor. Thank you guys for watching and see you next time.